On this Saturday edition of Chicago Cubs Central Podcast, listen, it's all about the pitching. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I'm your host, Mike Jones. Thanks for tuning in to this quick Saturday edition. Happy Father's Day weekend to all the fathers out there, and especially all the Cubs fathers out there that are out here doing the best that they can for their kids, providing for them. Listen, the world is a better place because of you. After that, I do also want to tell you guys that the Chicago Cubs did overcome the hitting woes of yesterday and were able to pull out a 2-1 game win over the Pittsburgh Pirates this afternoon, improving their record to 43-28 on the season, with the opportunity to win a series tomorrow. Up tomorrow for the Chicago Cubs. We will see Mitch Keller, who is 1-9 on the season with a 4.15 ERA, going up against Colin Ray, who is 4-2 with a 3.92 ERA on the season. The Chicago Cubs are looking to capitalize off of Mitch Keller's mistakes that he makes often on the mound and hopefully be able to win another ball game and win another series and take 3 of 4 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chicago Cubs, like I said, their offense is slow. It's just slow. It's tough, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's tough to watch, tough to deal with. But the Chicago Cubs, I mean, like I said, this is just kind of who they are right now, where they are. Today's broadcast, I watched half the game, and then the other half I decided to turn over to the radio instead of Pat Hughes being on there. Gosh, I forget the guy that stands in for him's name. But anyways, it was him and it was Ron Coomer out there today on the air today. And Coomer was talking about the fact that, like like Nico said, they talked to Nico talked to Bruce Levine at the end of the game after the Chicago Cubs won on the radio. And he said that the Chicago Cubs are just like every other team. You're not always going to be able to come out and score 6, 7, 8 runs. Sometimes you're going to have to win the 2-1 games. I mean, you would like to be able to come out and win those games, but winning when it matters counts too. And it matters. These games matter too. These games further push you towards your ultimate goal of winning the Central Division and having a postseason appearance. The Chicago Cubs are absolutely pushing themselves in that very direction. Like I said, so the Chicago Cubs are doing what they need to do. And it was driven by Nico Horner, who also helped aided in the scoring for the Chicago Cubs in this game. And again, it was him that scored the first run. And then after that, here it was Hap hit a sacrifice fly to left that Nico Horner scored off of that in the third. And then in the sixth, Dansby Swanson got a hold of one. I believe that's either his 12th or his 13th home run. Don't quote me on that, for the season. So Dansby Swanson also already this season with 13 home runs. You would say that he has found his slug. And this is all happening with the team, quote unquote, in a slump scoring wise. And what we mean by that is them just not being able to push across as many runs as you would expect this season, or as they have in games past this season. But yet and still, you would ask yourself, so Mike, if the Chicago Cubs are in a scoring slump like this, then how are they still pulling out these victories? And that's why I titled this episode, or one of the titles of this episode, it probably will be tired winning when it matters. But one of the headlines of this is it's all about the pitching, because the Chicago Cubs pitchers, and I'm talking about starting rotation, I'm talking about relief pitchers, and I'm talking about whoever is closing for that game, because we are kind of closing by committee. Everybody's coming in and they're playing their role. in that pitching department. And shout out to Tommy Hotovy. He has done an amazing job of making sure that these Cubs pitchers are ready to go. Very rarely do you see a Cubs pitcher step on the mound and just not look ready. Probably Ben Brown is the only one out of all of them that I would say has come on and you've seen consistent games where he just didn't look like he could find his strike zone, and you kind of wonder about that. But everybody else, for the most part, I think has found their stride. I mean, we'll see what happens with Colin Ray tomorrow. Hopefully, he doesn't give up a bunch of home runs. But at the same time, Matthew Boyd has been consistent. Jameson Taillon has been a revelation. Like I said, and then you find Cade Horton. I mean, oh my gosh, he went head to head with Paul Skeens, on Friday in Friday's game. So again, like I said, the Chicago Cubs are doing what they need to do to be successful this season. And again, the pitching is a huge part of that. So when you look at it like that, you understand that the Chicago Cubs team is going to continue to have success as long as their pitchers, especially starting pitchers, are able to go 5, 6, 7 innings most games. I mean, that's a really good sign that your starting rotation is having success when they're able to go 6, 7 innings consistently. Matthew Boyd went ahead and picked up the win. He is now 6-3 on the season. He will see his next start will probably be either against the Brewers or more than likely against the Mariners next week. It'll probably be the Mariners when they come. Yeah, it'll definitely be the Mariners when they come into Chicago, probably next Friday. You will see him there. So yeah, man, the Chicago Cubs are figuring it out. They're figuring out how to be successful and how to win baseball games. And like I said, you got to win the ones that are tight as well as the ones that are runaway. So you got to be able to win both styles of it. So Chicago Cubs are showing they could do both. The Brewers and the Cardinals both like to jack up a lot of runs, so you'll be able to seeing both of those divisional rivals here in the next week or so, next 2 weeks. So you want to make sure that hopefully the Chicago Cubs can hit out of a slump, otherwise those might be two tough series for the Chicago Cubs. That Brewers series is a 3-game set, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, here in Chicago, and then they'll play the Mariners 3 in Chicago, and then they will head to St. Louis after that Sunday game, and they'll play St. Louis 4 times, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, against St. Louis, and then they will go up against Kyle Tucker's former team in Houston. Will be in H-Town to end the month of June, the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th. So yeah, man, that's the Cubs. That's the Cubs schedule update. And of course, guys, your pick to perform player of the game, I'm going to give it to Dansby Swanson. He hit the go-ahead home run in the 6th inning for the Chicago Cubs, a team that's been scuffling, and Dansby Swanson that personally has scuffled also. So him being able to figure out how to drive in that run for the Chicago Cubs, nobody on base, just able to take advantage of it. I believe that was the big momentum shift for this game, because you got to score 2 and able to run and able to win if you give up 1. So shout out to Dansby Swanson on that. But Matthew Boyd also would be another great selection for the pick to perform player of the game. Matthew Boyd being able to go 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts on 93 pitches, 63 of those being strikes. His ERA, y'all, is 2.79. My goodness, what a guy. So what a model of consistency. And like I said, just like I thank Jameson Taillon after his last start. Thank you, Matthew Boyd, for being ready to pitch for the Chicago Cubs when they needed you to. Hey, that's my time for today. I appreciate each and every last one of you that are tuned into these videos, that get your Cubs updates on the games and find out what's going on with the team through here. I'm going to get my aim is to get watch along, get to hit another watch along with you guys. Probably Wednesday. I would say that Wednesday Cubs game will probably be either Wednesday or Tuesday will be the day that I'll do a watch along. So stay tuned for that. I'll make sure that gets up and out. And then, of course, we will do a watch along Cubs Cardinals the week after. So stay tuned for that. 2 Central Division watch alongs coming up in the next 2 weeks. You don't want to miss that, guys. The watch alongs are a lot of fun. So I want you guys to be able to tune in and enjoy Chicago Cubs Central with your boy. Once again, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Thank you so much for always watching the content, for always liking, sharing, and subscribing. I appreciate everybody that's a part of this growing family with the Chi-Town Sports Central Network. Again, the Chicago Cubs Central page I'm Mike Jones. Thank you guys so much. And I didn't forget, I never will forget, fly that W. That's right. Going for a series win tomorrow. Fly the W, y'all. That's right. Another Cubs win. Win number 43 on the season. 43 times, y'all, we've flown the W. That's amazing. That's wonderful so far this season, and it's June. All right, y'all. Until next time, go Cubs, go.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.